Please welcome Fausto Puglisi, Creative Director, Roberto Cavalli, with James Fallon, Chief Content Officer, WWD and Fairchild Media Group.
Hi, Jim. Yeah. Well, that video will wake us up, Fausto. Thank you.
Thank you. It's my pleasure.
So let's see. Milan, New York, Las Vegas, LA, Hong Kong.
Right.
I won't ask what time zone your body is in right
I don't
now.
know.
But anyway, thank you for joining us.
It's my pleasure.
So let's talk about your career. 6th year at Cavalli. How have you evolved and you've evolved the brand in that time?
You know, I love the Cavalli identity. It's what's fantastic is the attraction from young generation about the archive moment and the early 2000 experience connected to, you know, Christina Aguilera, Paris Hilton, Destiny's Child moment, you know, the early 2000. At the same time, Cavalli was a genius. And, you know, at the same, I mean, you know, I say he was probably the only Italian hippie designer because he understood the meaning of the denim, the meaning of the jeans. He started in the 70s as a jeans master, painting it, destroying it. So he was a revolutionary. At the same time, the Cavalli we know most is connected to the early 2000s,
yes,
which was about bombshell sexiness, and hopefully the costume have changed. You know, in the last 25 years, the perception of women has changed, and everything is just less. I mean, you know, everything is more confident, cooler. You don't need to be sexy just to please someone. You want to be sexy because you like sexiness, because you like freedom.
Right.
You know, we can see from the young generation of singers like FKA Twigs, Doja Cat, and to Beyonce or Taylor Swift, or whatever. I mean, they want to be free. So it's a perception of femininity, it's a perception of independence, it's a perception of confidence, which has changed. And I'm working to advocate for diversity, freedom. This is my goal.
But obviously, you mentioned the Cavalli that a lot of people stereotype is that early 2000s, the animal prints, et cetera. You've been trying to evolve that as well. I know for, I think the collection we just reviewed, which I guess was pre-fall, you've done a print, but it's a butterfly print, a blown up butterfly print. So is it both a blessing and a curse to have that kind of such a strong signature and then to be able to move beyond that into more subdued looks?
Absolutely. But you know what? For instance, you know, Cavalli was at the top of the moment of Cavalli, in a moment where still fashion brands used to be philosophy, lifestyle brands. Like, you could be an Armani person, you could be a Versace person, you could be a Cavalli person. Now, everything is much more fluid. Everything is different, you know? It's easy to find someone wearing a Cavalli jeans with a beautiful Chanel grandmother jacket and an Hermes bag. I mean, you know, women, men now, customers are completely different, and they like to mix brands. So there is not, I mean, what I'm trying to do all the time when I design a collection is to create a special wardrobe of separates. I believe it's extremely important now to play with separates and to play, it's like pills of happiness. It's like when you go to Spotify to buy a song. You like that song, you want that song. It's the same thing, I like that shirt. I want to buy that, I like that bag, I want to buy that. So what I'm trying to do with Cavalli is to define different women within the same vocabulary, you know what I mean?
Right.
But including, which is extremely important, different kind of sensitivities.
But what is your aesthetic, and then how does that fit into the Cavalli aesthetic as you evolve this circle, basically?
What is mine?
Your aesthetic.
My aesthetic, you know, I like, you know, I like life so much. I like different kind. You know, when I moved to New York, it was because I wanted to escape. In a way, I love Italy. I'm Italian, I'm 100% Italian, but I've always been fascinated by cultures, different cultures. So I love different identities. I like different kind of women. I like to play with to create for different kind of sizes. I like androgyny and I like sexiness. I like so many. I grew up with David Lynch movies, so I have my aesthetic, like Dario Argento, the Italian movie director, or again, David Lynch. I'm obsessed with him. And so I like also the beauty, I like ugliness at the same time. I like to mix these things. So my point of view when I create Cavalli is to celebrate the DNA, of course, but I like to think about what's going on now. If I think about Euphoria, the movie with Zendaya, they represent a young generation which is much more confident and plenty of differences. Right. It's important to celebrate differences in fashion right now.
Interesting, right. But you mentioned earlier, how has the Cavalli customer changed? You feel they're more confident, more willing to experiment, perhaps, or?
Yes, of course. Most of all now, the customers like to mix pieces.
Right.
Like to mix pieces. I insist when I say it, I started designing thinking of separates, because when you create about that, then you create the full look and the definitive image. But it's extremely important to create separates. And I like different kind of aesthetics, not one kind of aesthetic. We live in a world where, everything dialogues together, Right. It's plenty of, and I like it.
Right.
And so it's important to dialogue through different lens.
But you say you like different types of women, and you've had immense success dressing celebrities, from Beyonce to Taylor Swift, who could not be two more different people.
Yeah.
How do those collaborations come about, and how do you work with those celebrities?
It's extremely natural, and it started in a very natural way when I was 17 and I moved to New York City and I was a waiter in a restaurant.
2 years ago, you moved to New York.
Yes, right. And, it was like my first customer was Whitney Houston, and I designed for her the Grammy Awards costumes. So then Michael Jackson, then Madonna. Everything is extremely natural in a moment where the brands fights to have ambassadors, celebrities. For me, the relationships with celebrity is extremely natural and organic, so it's easy. I grew up in the 80s in Italy, and I'm obsessed with the pop culture, popular culture. I'm obsessed with Andy Warhol. I'm obsessed with the Madonna, Michael Jackson moment. I grew up with that. Asian cartoons. Everything influenced my aesthetic. So to design for a celebrity is like to design for a customer, and it's authentic and it's beautiful.
Is it truly a collaboration? Are you working, you're not, obviously you're presenting your ideas, but then you're getting their ideas, particularly for like Taylor Swift's concert uniforms, that kind of thing. And there's also a technical aspect where it has to, quote, perform on stage, which is different than doing a collection.
Yes, I don't know if people know, but one of my obsessions was Tony Duquette. Tony Duquette, and you know what? The first person who talked to me about Tony Duquette was Joyce Ma from Hong Kong. Right. And Joyce Ma was my first customer ever. Right. Okay, this was a beautiful story. By the way, she was the first person who believed in my aesthetic. And she said, okay, you are a young Tony Duquette. Tony Duquette used to be an interior designer, but he used to design incredible jewelry. He used to host these incredible parties in his house in Hollywood in the 50s and the 60s. So he was an Hitchcock kind of god, And he used to play with the mise en scène, the creation of the epic of a moment. So it's in my blood. Because I believe that as Jason said, we don't need more clothes.
Right.
We need emotions.
Right.
So entertainment is beautiful because it's like playing with music. I love music because it's extremely democratic.
Right.
And even if you don't understand the words, music gets inside your skin and give you an emotion. The same thing is when you create for these artists. It's fantastic. You create the mise en scène. I create only with artists I love and respect. So I know the songs, I know the music, and it's a dialogue to create magic and to create something beautiful.
Interesting. Speaking of celebrities, you've worked very closely with Kim Kardashian, and in fact, Cavalli has the collaboration with her Skims brand. How has that come about, and where do you see it evolving?
Kim was one of the first supporter of my own line, and I love Kim. I mean, you know, as I told you, I'm very curious and obsessed, this is the right word, with pop culture. She commands
Pop culture.
the obsession, popular attention, you know. Right now, I say, she's a contemporary Marilyn Monroe. You can like it or not, but Kim Kardashian is Kim Kardashian, and I like it's like a sociological phenomenon, and I respect it a lot. So when she DM'd me on Instagram, and I was shocked. I was in Puglia, I was going to Sicily, I was swimming, and I said, oh my God, she wants to do the Skim collection, and I love Kim. And I believe that Skims and Cavalli are a perfect combination. And we started to work on it. It was a blockbuster. It was such a great success, a huge success. I loved it.
Yeah. Will you do another?
Why not?
Oh, right. I won't ask, you weren't swimming with your phone, presumably, when she DM'd with you. Hopefully the phone was on the beach.
Yes. No, I was in the pool.
Okay. But again, it's a completely different product category for Cavalli. I mean, you're going into body wear, innerwear, et cetera. Is that enjoyable for you, taking it into a different...
Absolutely. I'm extremely democratic. I love people. I love to create things. I love Hong Kong. Look at the graphic of the advertisement. For instance, I never take the subway in Italy. I was here and I wanted to take the subway because I wanted to enjoy the people and I want to see the faces and the way they dress up. It's fabulous. What is important for a designer is to understand the people, to understand. It's not the moment you can make. I like to create, when I say pop culture, it's popular, something that people understand. Skims is a success. It's incredible. And at the same time, Cavalli was it was like a rock star. Roberto Cavalli used to be a rock star. He used to live like a rock star, you know. Everybody knows Roberto Cavalli. And so there is such a connection between Skims and Cavalli.
To your point, he was a rock star. I remember we covered his collaboration with H&M. And
do you remember that?
When he came to New York, he threw his cigar out onto the street, and someone literally picked it up and put it in a Ziploc bag.
Can you imagine? Okay.
Scary, but whatever.
Very scary.
Yeah, I know. But where do you see fashion right now? There have been a lot of changes in designers. It seems faster and faster. Is that an immense pressure on you?
There is, yes, I love my job, you know, I live for my job. It's like my gift. It's a personal gift. I live for my job. It's something even when I sleep, I create, I have ideas. I wake up and I start sketching wherever I am. Last night I was at dinner and I asked for a pen because I had an idea. And there is a big confusion right now in fashion, but I'm very passionate. Cavalli is growing, and I do my things. I don't want to be distracted by, how many times the quiet luxury. Nobody talks about quiet luxury, whatever. I always say, okay, if you spend so much money, it wants to be beautiful. It's plenty of incredible knitwear, beautiful cashmere brands that create quiet luxury. You don't need to promote quiet luxury because in fashion, so many times we live with standard phenomenon like declaration. This is the time of this, then this is the time. See now, by now, then everybody forgot. Then it's the moment of. Right. So I go on with my idea, with my vision. I'm very strong about that, and I'm very happy about that. So I see fashion, I believe still in emotion, again. I believe that you need to tell a story, you need to tell a true story, a loyal story, and people understand. Most of all, you know, Cavalli is like an escape.
Yes.
What's beautiful of Cavalli is like, okay, what I'm gonna wear tonight, Cavalli. What I'm gonna have for this cocktail, Cavalli. I'm going to St. Barth, I'm going to Macau, I'm going to Miami, I'm going to Saint-Tropez. I mean, what I'm gonna wear, Cavalli. I mean, you know, it's like an escape and it's beautiful.
Is that still how you view it? I'm going to these places, and so your customer is going to these places.
Of course. I mean, they travel a lot.
Right.
They travel a lot. I mean, you know, like in so many times, like, I mean, St. Barth's, Saint-Tropez, the Côte d'Azur is playing, the stores are selling so well. Right. They're performing so well because it's like in a moment where, I mean, everything is so dark somehow. It's beautiful to play for escape.
But it's also what Jason Wu said, which is there's nothing wrong with designing beauty.
Absolutely, right. Absolutely. Right. It's extremely important. Beauty, I mean, we live for beauty.
Right.
We want to be beautiful. We want to be attractive. I mean, I believe in the law of desire. It's extremely important.
Interesting.
Yes.
But where does your inspiration come from?
Where?
Where does your inspiration come from?
Oh my God, I mean, you know, the inspirations come. I mean, first of all, I grew up, when I was a kid, I knew since ever that I wanted to be a designer. Then I grew up in a moment buying Italian Vogue with Franca Sozzani. She was a genius, creating, advocating for difference and inclusivity since the first days.
Everywhere.
And so I was like, Italian Vogue in Italy was like, reading a newspaper, it was like the Bible.
Yeah.
So I mean, the inspirations comes from movies, comes from the past, comes from my Italian roots, comes from, again, Asian graphic, which is fantastic. The way the people dress up comes from American Hollywood history. I mean, it comes from life, comes from music. I mean, I love nature. I mean, you know, everything I do, every breath I do is an inspiration for me.
But why did you know you wanted to be a designer?
I don't know. I mean, I remember there was a school theme, and I was 5 years old, and I have my mother keep that. And I said, I want to be a designer like Giorgio Armani and Gianni Versace, because at the time it was the big moment of Italian fashion. And so I knew I wanted to be a designer since ever. I was born like that.
But your family's not in fashion, so it wasn't.
Not at all. My mother used to teach French. Okay. My father used to work for the, oh my God, sindacati, how do you call it? Whatever.
Right.
By the way, they were two professors,
right.
Both. And I was like, yes, I wanted to be a designer. But they were so curious, they supported me.
For 5 years old?
Yes, I remember it was like a moment at school still. There was like design. I'm from Sicily, in a beautiful town with the sea. And design a part of Messina, my hometown.
Yes.
And I was really young. And I designed this girl with the red leather biker jacket and a red leather miniskirt. And my teacher called my mother. She said, my God, this is pretty disturbing. Where did you find this vision? But it was my personal vision, and the sketch is still in my heart.
Did you ever make the red leather biker jacket?
I did plan to be a biker jacket.
Where do you see Cavalli going over the next 6-10 years, etc.?
So Cavalli is like, I see it everywhere. I mean, there is an incredible easiness in language of Cavalli, which is really what I see with my friends, for instance, my assistants, my friends, when I travel a lot and they dress up Cavalli, people from the housekeeping to the woman in the street say, oh my God, I love that. Oh my God, I love that. Mm-hmm. There is something connected to desire, again, which is extremely human and easy. So I can see Cavalli everywhere.
Right.
Most of all, you know, like, yes, what I like is the attention to Cavalli from young generation.
Right.
This is very attractive for me.
But there's also, as you said earlier, something just joyful about it.
Yes, joyful, absolutely.
And we need the joy.
Yeah, we need joy.
Right. No. Well, Fausto, this has been
Thank you so
fascinating.
much.
Thank you
It's
for
my
everything.
pleasure. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Grazie.
Thank you. That's it.
You're fabulous.
Yeah.